So we have a simple method that the derivative is to put as dVOT. So dVOT by dt is to be expressed as, what is the first principle? F of x plus h minus fx. But we discussed it and said that it is better to use f of x minus f of x minus h. So here how we can have dVOT by dt is approximately equal to, why? Because delta t is not tending to 0. We have some fix, maybe 1 microsecond, but we don't have delta t tending to 0. Delta t sufficiently small so that we can use approximation. So it is approximately equal to difference in dVOT by dt is limiting case of difference in VO upon difference in time. What is difference in time? Delta t. So VO at n, right, minus previous sample. What is that? VO at n minus 1 upon delta, right? Now you can use capital T also or delta T. Anyway, it will be coming into some constant. Is it right? It is dVOT by dt. What is VOT? VOT is directly VON. Only means we will not be, by sampling what we mean, we will not be taking into consideration values of the variables at all times, but only at sampling intervals. If sampling interval 1 microsecond, at t equal to 0 microsecond, 1 microsecond, 2 microsecond, 3 microsecond, in between we ignore, right? So VOT would be taken as only at samples, VON. VIT will be taken as only V in n. So it will be, what is original differential equation? dVOT by dt plus VOT is equal to V in t. Right? Is it okay? So the equation is VON minus VO n minus 1 upon delta t plus VON is equal to V in n. Is there any problem now? This every student must understand. Different derivative of output. What is derivative of output? Derivative is rate of change. Rate of change is approximately equal to difference in the current and previous sample upon the time duration over which the difference is taken. Derivative म्हणजे काय? सॅम्पल मधल्या व्हॅल्यूचा फरक वजा सॅम्पल मध्ये व्हॅल्यूचा फरक भागिले सॅम्पल्स किती वेळाने घेतली त्या टाइमचा फरक, राइट? सो difference in successive sample values upon sampling time, right? So that is derivative. So once that is replaced by this simple ratio, when derivative is approximately replaced by simple ratio, this becomes a very simple equation. So multiplying by delta t on both sides, we get VON is minus VO n minus 1 plus multiply delta t, so plus delta t VON is equal to delta t V in n, multiplying all terms by delta t, then connecting the terms VON plus delta t VON, right? So what we get by connecting the terms? 1 plus delta t VON plus, so minus VON minus 1, right? minus VO n minus 1 is equal to delta T V in n. Is it right? Now this, what we want? We want VON, that's all. Everything other than, means when we want solution, what we want to find? VON. So what is to be found must be on left hand side, and everything other than that must be thrown to right hand side. So VON, this goes on the other side. So 1 plus delta T, I repeat again, VON is equal to delta T V in n plus VO n minus 1. Dividing this on the other side, VON is equal to delta T upon 1 plus delta T V in n plus 1 upon 1 plus delta T VON minus 1. So this I will give constants. In giving constants also I am somewhat choosy. This constant I will give as B subscript 0. Some constant I have deliberately given it. B subscript 0 V in n plus A subscript 1 VON minus 1. So this is the expression. Output is just summation of current output is something into current sample plus some other thing into previous sample, right? So previous output sample. So a small change. Current output is some constant into current input plus some other constant into previous input. So previous output, right? Current output is some constant into current input plus some other constant into previous output. So that you go, remember that this is a difference equation and not actual equation. So it has got infinite solutions depending upon where you start. So difference equation cannot give you value of VO0. Why? Because for that you need to know VO minus 1. So for that you need to know VO minus 2. So somewhere you have to start. So some value of output sample is to be assumed when we start. So if VO0 is 0, then you can write VO1 equal to V in 1 plus 0. Okay, some constant V in 1 plus 0. Then VO2 is equal to V into plus something into VO1. Is it clear? So this solution you get. So it is simple two-term equation. One constant into current input plus one constant into previous output. Now we will develop one more equation, but here what I find is that to know the current output, why should I know previous output? Suppose if I only means it is it is a finite term equation but iteration. It is, you must be knowing programming C, factorial, you go for iteration. So here, so it becomes simple, otherwise it becomes difficult. So here it is iterative equation, so only two addition terms are there. But I don't know iteration. What I want, the question is why current output, for knowing current output, suppose if I want to see, this is you may be knowing that various teachers may adopt this approach. They ask you, oral is to be taken. So to have exhaustive oral, it will take time. So what is have you gone through such a, you have not gone through oral because of pandemic situation, it may be some Google form, but otherwise, what is a very peculiar question of a teacher when he starts oral? So that teacher's job may become easy. A simple question, answer to which will make teacher's job easy. What is that? No. See, what ideally expected? A very rigorous oral. So some out of 100 marks with half mark resolution, students should be classified from say 40 to 99.5. So it is a very rigorous task. So many questions and all that. To avoid that or to save some time. And also not much injustice should be made. One can go for random marks. So that is not good. So it should not be making injustice, but it should not be too much taxing for the teacher. So what simple logic a smart teacher may adopt? He is watching the watch. No. You're watching both hands? No. He is watching something else. Okay. So what is a simple question that a smart teacher may ask to reduce his work?
Sir, the teacher may ask what was taught in previous lecture or like that.
No. So you seem to be a very ideal teacher. No, not that. Teacher wants to reduce to a substantial level. So that, see, I have given a hint. Teacher should ask a very smart question so that in very small amount of time with very less number of questions, the assessment should be over and injustice also should not be made. What? No. Again, tell me what you know about the topic is the most difficult question. Then the student will start talking so many things, and how the teacher can assess that? Assessment job is very difficult. You may find that assessment is tough for students, but if a rigorous assessment is to be carried out, it is a very tough job for teacher.
Marks in exam.
Right. I think that see actually his partner, because what I was talking, what was there? Current output is current input something plus something to previous output. So teacher will ask what was overall your marks total CPI person in last semester, so that somewhere near around. So that constant and plus something means these are the marks available in last semester, previous output to some constant. These are the marks obtained by you for current answer, something into this plus something into this. So this job becomes somewhat easier. But that one will say no. One will say why such students are not there, but he will say no. So why if some extraordinary student like say Radhakrishna was there, then he will say so it's not correct. He will say it's out of questions, out of syllabus question. What Radhakrishna will say, how much marks I had obtained is not the question which you are supposed to ask. What do we mean? That should not be asked. Then if that is not to be asked, means that multiple questions need to be asked. Now the question is, the homework for you is, you must be able to convert this equation into such equation where VO should not be part of the right hand side. You get the question? VO in either form. Here VON is on the left hand side, on the right hand side there is no VON. But VON minus 1 is there. In no form VO should remain there. It should be completely wiped out. So how we can do that? I will do partially and you will complete that. So you don't want that. So when you don't want that, what will you do? You try to remove. So what is VON minus 1? VON minus 1 would be B0 V in n minus 1 plus B1 V in n minus 2. That also should be wiped out. So like that, if you go by this procedure, somebody of you must be able to get the answer. VON is equal to, this step is all right. It is B0 V in n plus VON minus 1 is B0 V in n minus 1, not this, plus plus A1, right? This A1 is constant as it is, and for the bracket it will replace, for VO n minus 1 it will replace B0 V in n minus 1 plus A1 VO n minus 2. So what that would be? B0 V in n plus A1 B0 V in n minus 1 plus A1 square VO n minus 2. This also again you can go back, right? So with this, so what is the equation now? Something into V in n plus something into V in n minus 1 plus something into V in n minus 2 plus something. So it will completely wipe out VO. So this equation must be VON must be something into V in n plus something into V in n minus 1 plus something into V in n minus 2. So it would be summation till infinity. It will not stop anywhere. So it would be an infinite term, non-iterative equation. So it would be something summation V in n minus k where k starts from 0 to infinity. What this would be is to be found out by you. This bracket is to be found out by you. VON is this. This bracket you are supposed to find. Before you come tomorrow, you should be able to find the answer in the bracket, the expression in the bracket. Is it right?
Sir, why we have taken infinity in that case, since k equal to 0 to infinity?
See, n minus 2. A good question. So when VO n minus 2 will be what? Something into
Put that n minus
V in n minus 2 plus something into VO n minus 3. That would be V in n minus 3. So that will go back, go along. There is no stop. There is no stopping. It will go each till infinity. So
in that case means we have to assume n to be also very large, no? Then
it's a, oh yeah, n means n is an integer and it will go from minus infinity. N is a countable infinity. 0, 1, 2, 3 on one side, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 on the other side. No limit. Now, I think now sufficient discussion is made so that water tank mode is not required. We can go for directly electric engineering circuit, electronic circuits, electric circuits. So the question is now construct differential equation. This problem I will allow you 2-3 minutes for you to think. I will give a hint and then complete solving will be tomorrow. Construct differential equation, then convert into difference equation and find expression for VON. The circuit is simple. One Henry, 1 farad. To be precise, should be L and C, but you start with 1, right? Start with 1. It should be L and C actually. So we put a pause on video. You solve. I will give a hint and then we will stop.